Greetings, all you manics, minds, runner crimes, and today I want to talk about Protea in the Steel Path, and I just gotta say, she is a lot of fun to play in the Steel Path. Her kit is so well designed for Steel Path and basically every other kind of mission that you would go through in Warframe. Her kit is just really, really nicely put together. It all works very well together. So, in the background footage here, of course, you see me with Protea, and the general way I play Protea is I spam her one until I can get my my 3 juiced up, and then I press 3 so I have energy spawning, and that's all great. Another really cool thing about Protea is that the way her 2 works. I didn't actually know this until recently, but her 2, those turrets that you send out, I'm sorry, artillery, they're sentry guns, essentially. They have punch through. I don't know how much punch through they have, but they do in fact have punch through, which makes their damage scale up against large hordes of enemies very, very fast. Because if you don't know how her 2 works, the more enemies it hits, the longer it's out, the more enemies, it hits and combos with, the stronger and stronger it gets, and it does pure heat damage and always crits. Every single shot that the thing does is a crit. It's just a normal yellow crit, but it's still a crit. I don't know the exact specifics of the damage. I kind of wish you could see that, like what's the critical damage and all that, but I assume maybe the critical damage is sort of normal, and the status chance is 100% because it does pure heat damage and it always procs heat. So there's that. I also wouldn't mind an augment to give it a little bit of cold damage and not combine it into blast, so that way you're burning enemies and slowing them down. That would be even more crowd control for Protea, not that she needs it. Because also her 1 can do staggering amounts of damage over time. So her 1 is just a bunch of like blade grenades that slice enemies, and they also stagger enemies, which is very fantastic. If they didn't stagger enemies, that would be kind of rough. She wouldn't be as good as she is. That stagger is very nice. And with the Panzerwolf around, both of these abilities do kind of ludicrous amounts of damage. They are completely capable of erasing hordes of enemies fairly quickly. Also, fun fact, if Harrow boosts your critical chance with his 4, your 2 can actually red crit if it headshots. Now, it doesn't headshot very often, but it can in fact happen. It doesn't get guaranteed orange crits from what I've seen. I've only been in like 2 missions where I was playing Protea, and there was a hero that actually had his 4. So it's just a little thing. Not that it matters, because her 2 is going to do a lot of damage. Even if it doesn't kill the enemy, you're proccing them with heat, you're slightly crowd controlling them, and you're also reducing their armor, and they're probably nearly dead. Even if the turret goes away and the enemy is still alive, they're probably mostly dead, unless it's like a Demolist or something, or an enemy on Steel Path. Either way, when it comes to survivability, her 1 also gives her a lot of survivability, not just from the crowd control, but also, well, you hold it and you get shield satellites that when they break, they extend the invincibility and give you more than enough time to activate another one or collect another one, because you send out 3. And that is really great. It also works on pets. It works on defense targets, mostly. It seems to be a bit inconsistent with defense targets, but whatever. Anyway, Protea in the Steel Path is not only really engaging to play, but also very fun. If you don't have your shields, she can die fairly quickly, especially against Acolytes, but luckily I brought my Kuvazar, so Acolytes weren't a threat. I only really use my Kuvazar against like Infested, or if I'm doing Steel Path, I'll occasionally bring it out. I really like using it as a shotgun in Disruption, because it deletes Demolists really fast, because the shotgun mode on the Kuvazar is ridiculous. It fires something like 45 projectiles at once. Like, what the fuck is that? Either way, Protea is absolutely made for Steel Path. She she scales very well. She just scales very well. Her damage will stay consistent, at least until you hit level cap, but I mean, who cares about level cap? Maybe even then her damage will still be pretty good. Her one always staggers, which is just fantastic, and it's constantly doing slash damage. Not a lot, but because of the amount you can throw out, you could literally, you spam that shit all damn day, and every place is just covered in blades, essentially. And it's staggering enemies. She's got her shield satellites, which will really help you in a pinch, and will really make you tanky unless you get hit with a toxin proc, which sucks, but whatever. And her 3 is very good at giving you energy and also ammo, and this ammo even affects your arc guns. So you can have an unlimited ammo arc gun if you so choose. If there's an arc gun you really like using, then as a heavy weapon, then Protea will basically guarantee you never run out of arc gun ammo, which is, oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, DE, for allowing that, because that's awesome. I like using the cubic rattler every now and then. It's kind of fun. The only weakness I'll say about her is her 4. Her 4, yeah, it's cool. It could definitely save your life. Like, if you die when it's activated, you'll rewind and just be knocked down and you'll stay alive. But I wish it was cooler. I don't know. It just feels like one of those powers that they made for a boss gimmick and just didn't really make it all that special in actual gameplay. But whatever. Subsume off her 4. I would definitely recommend it. For abilities, it's completely up to you. I tried Empower. It felt a little clunky to use with her because of how her passive works. But overall, yeah. Protea in Steel Path. I decided to give her a try in Steel Path. And I was like, God fucking damn it, this girl's awesome. Because she can shut down entire hallways and choke points and doorways, and just the amount of things that she can do is ridiculous. She is literally the Inspector Gadget of Warframe. I know that was previously like Vauban's thing, but Vauban is more of a crowd controller, and Protea is sort of more offensive. Either way, I would absolutely recommend giving Protea a try in the Steel Path. She works extraordinarily well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video about Protea in the Steel Path. Maybe a lot of you guys already knew this, like, duh, Protea and Steel Path, duh. But I just thought it was interesting because when it came to Steel Path, I mostly just picked, like, Nidus or Nezha, sometimes Mag, but never Protea. And then I started playing her more, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. She works very, very well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.